सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Together we chant the verses from chapter 15.
So, Janki ji, all the verses?
No, 11 to 20 is fine.
यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितम् यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानः नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजः जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम् गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधीः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम् सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम् द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः यस्माक्षरमतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेवमसम्मूढः जानाति पुरुषोत्तमम् स सर्वविद् भजति माम् सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत।
So today we were going to do any questions from chapter 15. Do you all have any questions? Yes, Deepraj.
Yes,
If you have a question, you may also put it on the chat group so it is easy for everyone to understand. Yeah, you can go ahead, Deepraj. Anybody else?
So in chapter 15, verse 8, I think he refers to etani, gruhitvaitani. So what does he mean by etani?
Speak English.
These. No, the reason why I use the Sanskrit is because Sanskrit there is like singular, then double, and then plural. So he is referring to at least three things. That's why I used etani.
He's using the plural. You can use the plural for any amount over one. When you make it two, it is more specific. So you want the word etani, these, from verse 8, correct?
Yes.
So when you're using a pronoun, obviously it refers to some noun that has been used before. Grammar rule. So go to verse 7. A portion of my eternal self, Atman, having become a living being in the a being in the living world, abiding in matter, attracts the senses with mind as the sixth. So how many things is he speaking of over here?
Senses and the mind. So that's
Six.
six things. Yeah.
So then what's your problem with etani?
Because I thought the senses are part of the gross body.
I see. So ask that question. No. Senses are part of the gross body. Senses are also part of the pranas. You're aware of that, right? The sense centers in the mind. Actually, senses are not in the body in Vedanta. Senses are in the mind. The golayas or the fleshy organs are in the body. So, philosophically, we don't accept that the senses are in the body because the sense may be there, but you have no sense perception. So the sense centers are in the mind. Sense centers means unless your mind is there, you don't hear anything. Or unless your mind is there, you won't see it. So technically, Indriyani is part of the mind, not part of the body. Golayas, the fleshy organs, are part of the body, technically. But now, in public lectures and all, you don't go into this amount of detailing as far as the philosophy goes.
It is considered part of the subtle body because the registration happens there.
Yes, because you don't have a sense perception until the mind is there. If you're asleep, you're not feeling whatever. You're not feeling the heat, or you're not listening to the sound of the fan, or whatever. With the senses are there, but there's no perception.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else has a question? Oh, you all were supposed to discuss, no? This would have gone completely crazy if this piece of information was not with you. So that's why I took it up. So yeah, okay. So who has another question? Now this one, assuming it's not a technical one, will be group discussion. Who is new to the class today? Anyone new? Annie, are you aware? Were you there last Bhagavad Gita class? That means Sunday.
I was there yesterday, ma'am.
Yes, I know that. But you were not there last Sunday. So last Sunday we finished chapter 15. And so today we're taking up any questions pertaining to it.
That's okay. I'm just happy to listen to everybody.
And the way we are taking it up is we hope that the class will be able to answer the questions that any of the members have put up. That's how we're going to try to do it today. I don't know what chaos we will encounter, but we will deal with it as we go on. So, who has a question? Kalyan Kumar, your mic is on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
So in verse 11, he
Mhm,
says the yogis who strive perceive this dwelling in the self.
mhm,
And then he says the unrefined and unintelligent, even though striving, do not perceive this.
mhm.
So why does he say they're also striving, unintelligent and unrefined? And in what way are they striving, if that is the case?
Okay, so Kalyan has touched a raw nerve. So let us answer his question. In verse 11, he says that the unrefined and unintelligent, even though striving, do not perceive this. So what does this mean? That they are striving, but they don't perceive. Correct?
No. Why does he say they're also striving?
Not the same thing. Okay. Why does he say they're striving? Meaning you're not accepting that they're striving.
Yeah, in the sense, I thought unintelligent and unrefined do not have the two qualities of discipline and knowledge. And hence, how can they be striving?
Okay. All right, everyone, you get a 2-minute break to think about this. Please write your answer down and read it when you're answering the question in the interests of brevity and precision.
So Janki ji, Kalyan is asking the explanation or why it is like that.
No, I'm asking why is he saying that the unrefined and unintelligent are capable of striving?
I think somebody's posted the answer that should answer it.
You're, of course, free to post the answer, but you can also write it in your own book and read it out to us. Annie, this is your first group discussion, so you are very optimistic. You will soon find out where this is going. Okay, so have you all written your answer? Kalyan, I think Omkar has given his. Are you satisfied with his answer? Can you read it in the chat?
Yeah, I'm reading it. Not really, because even the yogis who are striving are not self-realized.
Very good. So all those who are not self-realized means there's no category of the yogi and the refined and unrefined and unintelligent. Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Then Deepraj has an answer. Annie, are you clear about this? You thought this was an answer, but this cannot be an answer. You know why?
Because I had attended. Coming to this question, this what it said. I just attended. There was an IIC. There was this thing, Dastan Goi and all on Kabir and Rumi, and how they just put together everything, and eventually what came out was that nothing is outside. Everything, all your realization, everything starts from your inside. So
Correct.
that was such a huge, that was such a huge, because we keep going everywhere. I mean, I'm almost going to be 60, and all I've done in my life is I've gone to all the tirths, and it's such a waste of time.
No, my dear, it wasn't a waste of time. It is within you, but all these various things have been given as methodologies. However, we are not discussing the complete philosophy now. What we are discussing is Kalyan's question. So here's where we have to focus. He's saying that the unintelligent and the unrefined cannot strive. And so, why is he putting it as striving? That's Kalyan's point. Omkar's point was he's defining all those who are still not self realized as unintelligent and unrefined. Okay, you're with us so far, Annie?
Yeah.
Right. So now suppose we take Omkar's answer as correct, then we will have to say who is he defining as the yogi? Because he said there are two categories of people. Omkar has put the entire lot of us who are not self-realized into one category. Then who is the other category? Did you get it?
I think what there aren't two categories, it's unrefined and uneducated. He's clubbing it all together as one, isn't it?
Annie, concentrate. Omkar, can you please put that on the screen?
Put my answer on the screen, you mean?
Sorry?
Put my answer?
No. Put the verse on the screen so that
Okay.
Annie can see it.
Yeah, the verse.
See, the yogis who strive perceive. Okay, that's one category. The unrefined and unintelligent do not perceive. So there are two kinds of people who are striving, the yogis and the unrefined, unintelligent. Omkar says all the unrefined and unintelligent are non-self-realized people. So then the question will arise, who's the yogi then? Got it?
Not really, actually.
Is it? Okay, do you see there are two categories of people in this verse, the yogis and the unintelligent, right?
Okay.
So Omkar says the unintelligent are the non-realized.
But he says the yogis who strive perceive and others don't.
Yeah. So those striving don't perceive. Correct?
It's your interpretation how you've taken this verse. My interpretation is a bit different.
It's not whose interpretation it is. Do you see that there are two kinds of people? One who strive and perceive, and one who strive and don't perceive. Correct?
Okay.
So Omkar says, those who strive and don't perceive are the people who are not yet realized.
Okay.
So then who are those who are striving but perceive? Still not clear?
See, what I got from this verse was, I don't know what is his confusion, but what I've got from this verse is that
No, wait. Stop a second. You can't
okay.
simply say what you got. You have to respond to his question.
I don't understand what is the I mean, I didn't understand what he didn't understand. It's kind of confusing. That is why.
Okay, he's according to Kalyan, the unrefined and the unintelligent. How can they strive? Because this is referring to people who have neither knowledge nor discipline. So, what kind of striving are they
No,
doing?
but anyway, so even the unintelligent strive to sabhi kar sakte hai na? Matlab, they might not get to the result. Strive, anybody can strive.
So, that is his
They may
question.
not reach to the result, but it doesn't mean that they're not striving, but they're not striving fruitfully to come to that realization.
Okay, very good. But then
Yeah,
he
that is my interpretation. I
right.
mean, okay.
Okay, but his question is, why are you accepting that they are striving when they are doing nonsense activities?
No, striving is striving. How does it, which direction striving is going is different, na? But unke liye to wo strive kar rahe hain na, maybe to a person who can see it, that they are not striving towards what they need to strive, but they
Okay.
are striving.
All right, so that is can be your answer, but we are not discussing what your answer is. What we are discussing is why Omkar's answer is not relevant. Did you get why this answer was not acceptable? Because वहां तक हम लोग पहुंचे हैं. Only first one we have taken so far, and this is not an acceptable answer because Omkar has put everybody into the category of unrefined and unintelligent.
Okay.
Okay, is that much clear?
Hmm.
Now, Deepraj. The yogis put the self at the center of all actions. Him, her, putting the self as the highest goal is said to perceive it and thus strive for it.
Not acceptable. Because he's saying why yogis strive.
Yeah,
Is what?
because I didn't hear your question properly. That's why. I heard ki. Okay, I'll leave it here. So the question is that why are the unintelligent said to strive when they don't even perceive it?
No,
Is
when they don't have knowledge and they don't have discipline.
when they don't have knowledge and they don't have discipline, why is it what they're doing we are calling strife?
Then Prashant. Fundamentally, however unintelligent I am, I'm still pursuing happiness, though I don't understand it. Ultimate happiness is self realization, thereby, unintelligent are also striving.
Somewhere getting there, but very.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting take that Prashant has on it. Very nice that since they are pursuing happiness, we accept it as striving because everybody is trying to pursue happiness. And but happiness is only available in the self. So what you're doing is a very silly thing. Okay, interesting, Prashant. Meera. Being ignorant, they pursue religion as a way to gain personal goals by blindly following religious practices. Hence, they too strive in their own way without understanding the presence of Brahman everywhere. Kalyan?
Basic. Yeah, close. Basically, when it's being referred as unintelligent and unrefined striving, they are practicing negative religion. That's why they call it striving, is it? From what
Yeah,
Meera and then
I
Mahesh is mentioning.
I guess they are striving in their own way, but they don't by not genuinely understanding uh, the truth by following the wrong path, a negative religion, as you put it.
Now we'll have to explain to Annie what is negative religion. Any
Yeah,
definition?
I haven't heard this term ever.
Okay, so negative religion means when you pursue religion with an intention other than the religious intention. So, religious intention means you want to realize the self, you want to develop yourself. Those are the religious intentions, spiritual intention. Intention other than that is you want something physically, emotionally, or intellectually. You could want wealth, you can want health, you can want your child to do well in exams, you can want mental peace, you can want answers to your questions. All of this comes under negative religion. Not negative because of something bad, but because it is not for the purpose it is meant for. In that sense, negative. Okay?
Oh, I just realized I've been doing that all my life.
Well, 99.9% are doing it. So that's just the way of this world. Yes, so that's why you need knowledge. That is where Kalyan's question comes in, that why are they accepted as being striving? Then they have no knowledge, they have no discipline, they do whatever they feel like, whenever they feel like, then why are you accepting as a striving? Because we put very high standards on the word striving. So you may see that, let Annie says that all her life she has done this, right? So let us, for argument's sake, say that Vedanta is knowledge and the right path. Just for argument's sake, don't argue with me over here. But for argument's sake, I'm saying that. So, according to Annie, she has been doing negative religion, but she has found her way, no? And isn't that what happens to everybody, really, eventually? घूम घूम के कहाँ जाओगे? यही आना है. Yही means to the right knowledge. So we are accepting it as striving. That could be like, as an example, it's too good an example to let go right now. But let's read all the other questions. So Meera says it is negative religion and therefore uh, uh, and interprets this verse in that sense. Mahesh, the yogis perform karma yoga while the unintelligent merely do karma for selfish ends. Correct. Again, negative religion. Correct. Again, referring to that. The yogis bhavna. The yogis perceive the self because they place it at the center of their life and actions. For them, the self is the highest goal and their striving is aligned with this vision. On the other hand, the unrefined and unintelligent may also strive, but without clarity of goal or discipline sadhana. Since their efforts may not be rooted in true understanding of self, they fail to perceive the self. Since their efforts may not be rooted in true understanding of the path, you can't say in true understanding of the self, Bhavna, because if they got true understanding, then their path is over. So, yes. Okay, Kalyan.
Yeah.
Authors Arun Sehgal. Author's definition of unintelligent and unrefined are those who seek the world and not the self. They follow religious practices for personal gains and not for the self. But they are still striving. Okay, so basically everyone has answered along the lines of negative religion. Only additional thing that I think everybody should have said, so it connects to the question that Kalyan is asking. So they are doing negative religion. So he can again ask you, okay, they're doing negative religion. Why are you using the word striving? Striving is a good thing, right? Striving is in the sense of putting in effort. So they're putting in effort. They're going on pilgrimages. They're going to see in Maharashtra, they're going around Ashtavinayak. In North India, they're going to Char Dham Yatra and this Yatra, that Yatra. They're going to Vaishno Devi. They're going up to Kailash Mansarovar. They're going to temples and churches and mosques. They're telling the beads. अपनी तरफ से effort तो डाल ही रहे हैं ना. So they are putting in a lot of effort. Just because the effort is incorrect effort doesn't mean it's not effort. So that's only a connecting between what they are saying.
But the example which you gave of Annie, so if you take an extreme view, then she's also been putting in effort, and you said she landed up in our class, let's say.
Mhm.
So she may have just stumbled into this without any effort also.
Yes and no. I mean, let's not discuss poor Annie, but
I'm just saying
No, you
anybody
can
for that
discuss.
matter.
I have no issues. Discuss me. I'm quite amused. Yes. And by the way, my latest yatra was Tirupati, and don't even get me started how difficult it was just to get to the realization.
yes. So she went to this massive yatra, let us say, okay, I'm just adding all these details. So it was very taxing, very tumultuous, whatever problems and all she went through. Then she goes to a lecture where Sage tells her that तू कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ. Okay, then she goes to Rumi and listens that I'm all inside. She said, hey, Baba, why am I going over there? God is within me. Now, okay, God is within me. We've established that. Ab main kya karu? When I wanted to know God, and I was told go on a pilgrimage, go to a temple, a church, a mosque. I had something to do that I could reach there. Now I've learned that it's within. Now what am I supposed to do? That's how you come to knowledge. That is why this is a very interesting thing about life, is that there is no such thing as right effort and wrong effort. Because what develops character is effort in itself. Just like there is no success and failure, they're meaningless terms. Similarly, there's no right and wrong effort. If your character gets developed by any means, you will reach the same end, no? Now, this is a very dicey method. As a method, it's a dicey method. Because you remember that now, that beautiful thing, andhasya darpanena kim. What will the blind man do with a mirror? So all the scriptures are of as much use to an unintelligent person as a mirror to a blind man. If you don't have your own prajna, if you don't have your own wisdom, you can read all the best literature on it. You can go to the best teachers. You can do this whole rigmarole, and you will never know it. So somewhere between these two principles, we have to find our way. On one hand, all effort is good. On the other hand, without intellect, nothing is going to work. But the thing about effort is, when you put in effort, your desires start getting under control. And so whatever little intellect you have has the potential of coming out. It's not a recommended method. I'm just telling you how it's possible that it could happen. It's not a recommended recommended methodology. The recommended methodology is gain knowledge and go about it systematically. Don't do all this, random stuff. But we're accepting as striving because in their scheme of things, they're putting in effort. Sometimes they do ghor tapas. They will not eat for 1 month. They will, all the Rakshasas are always shown as doing ghor tapas, no? They'll stand on one foot. I don't know, weird things they will do.
Ankiji, they even pierce their tongue and, have these, this thing,
Yeah, pierce their tongues, picked up by those hooks in their back and all. Can't bear to watch it. I don't know how they do these things. Ghor tapas. You
But
see,
finally, they don't perceive this.
they may or they may not. But until they develop the wisdom, they will not perceive. All this time when they were doing it, they were not perceiving it. The yogis mean someone who has a systematic attempt to reach a predetermined goal. That makes him a yogi. These other people don't have systematic effort, they don't have predetermined goal, they don't know what methodology to use towards what end.
Okay.
Janki ji, on this point on effort, making effort. Now, if the choice is between not making an effort and making an effort, certainly making an effort is better. It'll build character. But having said that, if the direction of the effort is not right, then it may will it waste a lot of energy and time, and whether it will still build character. Because if the direction is wrong, we could be building a wrong character. So the direction also has to be broadly right. Now you will find the ultimate goal, but broadly, directionally, it has to be right, no? Otherwise, there is a limited time available in this life.
Yeah, that is true. But these are difficult questions because there are many nuances involved. Have you ever heard of this poem, The Ballad of East and West? The Ballad of East and West. It's a very nice, it's a ballad by Rudyard Kipling, where he talks about a thief and a border police, right? So the thief's role in life is, of course, to rob, and the border police's role is to catch him. So the poem begins like this: the east is east and the west is west, and never the twain shall meet until they stand at God's great judgment feet. But there is neither east nor west. Actually, Omkar, can you put it on the screen? Can you do that? There is not east nor west. When two great men, when two strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth. So it is obviously during the British Raj. So these guys are stealing from the police, who's obviously the British. And there's a whole story. And then they finally come face to face. And the respect they have for each other, because each one has lived up to his dharma. So your dharma may be very different from somebody else's, as a thief and as a police person. But your character lies in upholding your dharma. Same sort of idea is there in the Ramayana. Rama is sent to Vanvas, and he reaches the Sarayu River, and then that boatman is there, and the boatman is the king of the, what do you call it? The king of the yes, yeah, he's got it, but now you can read it on your own. It's a long story. It's a ballad. So the king is a boatman. It's a boatman king. What is he called? The king of the boatmen or whatever. A tribal, basically. Okay, and he is considered to be one of the greatest devotees of Rama. You know the story, right? He says, I will not let you in my boat. You know that, right? So basically, Rama as Prince of Ayodhya and this boatman are equated. Like he's the greatest devotee or whatever.
That's
It
केवट
doesn't
केवट
matter.
की बात कर केवट की बात कर रहे हैं ना आप केवट.
So that's kevat, yeah, correct. Basically, who are considered the lower, the unrefined, the unintelligent, lower strata of society, they are given equal, what should I say, equal status. Because it's not what you're doing, it is how you're doing it. So when you're talking of this question of effort, even if you are broadly in the wrong direction, such as you are uneducated or you are a thief or you're whatever, according to us, is not correct. But you're doing that part well, you will eventually come to the better path, let us say. On the other hand, what you're saying is not incorrect, because if you're going to be a horrible person as a robber or whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to go down the drain. So
Yeah, I
these
guess, yeah.
questions can nuance, yeah.
Yeah. There are nuances. I guess one could also give an example of from Mahabharata. Kauravas, again, you had Karan and Dronacharya and Bhishma Pitama. Though probably the dharma, they were following dharma of war, but probably the end was, the direction may be wrong. They were, working for wrong people. Directionally, they may be wrong, but they're still following the dharma of war. Probably, I mean, loosely one can use that as an example.
Yes, I mean, this is why it's so difficult to say directionally it is wrong. Because, see, Bhishma is shown as a person of extremely high sattva.
Right.
So how can we judge that what he was doing is wrong?
Mm.
He had made a promise that I will protect the throne of Hastinapur. And he was doing that.
So
he was gaining control over his own self. Commitment in life is a very big thing. In fact, Rama's character was known on that, right? Raghukula Rita Sada Chali Ai, Prana Jai Paravachana Na Jai. So if you want to have an intellect, you better learn how to make a commitment and stick to it. So in small ways, right? I said I will do something on Monday. You do it on Monday. I said I'll meet you at 12:30. Then meet at 12:30. This is why is punctuality, why is all these things considered good qualities? Then you get control over yourself.
True. Yeah.
So, but yes, I mean, this is complicated about this direction. Okay. Yes, Mahesh, you have been patiently waiting. What have you given up?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to make the point. Some part of this was discussed, but I was just wondering whether we could make it a generic thing of the yogis doing karma yoga. I didn't really mean negative religion. I mean, just the karma that they perform is done for union with the self, as opposed to the unintelligent striving, doing karma for, their personal benefit or some selfish end. So I'm just thinking, can it be taken as all karma? I mean, I think that was discussed a bit here, but
No, but
I just thought
it will become negative religion, no? You're doing karma, but not for the sake of the self.
Yeah, if you take yoga as union and you do karma or not. So yeah, I mean, I meant that not necessarily about the pilgrimage, etc., but all karma that they do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jankiji, may I ask?
Go ahead. Have you finished? Are you asking a new question or old one?
A new question.
Okay. Kalyan, are you okay with this much?
Yes, okay. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead, Elsie.
Jankiji, I don't know whether it's a question. I'm a little perplexed because on the one hand, we know that our original nature is self. Along with that non-apprehension is also inbuilt in us. So that is very contradictory. It is like a game. We are blindfolded and pushed into somewhere where we are supposed to seek something without seeing anything. And why, if it is our original nature, why we are not born naturally like that? Because animals are all in their original, whatever is programmed way they are behaving. But why we have to strive? And from time immemorial, as we know, people are striving. And we know that very few are naturally getting. So
My
it seems to be a little,
no, it is not. You have
what do you call, disappointing.
okay, but you're forgetting the basics, which is that if you knew you were the self, you would not be born. You are born because you don't know you're the self. So how can you be born knowing the self? You're born because of desires. Desires arise because of non-apprehension. So the moment you're born, you have to be away from yourself. Otherwise, why would you be born? So you can't say, why do we not know from the basics? I mean, you're putting the cart
I
before the
didn't
horse.
understand because, okay,
Think
we are
carefully.
born.
Why are you born? What is the reason for your birth?
We have to realize the self, and we have to clean our.
Why were you born? Forget purpose. Why? What is the cause of your birth?
Because we had unfulfilled desires and.
Right. That means you're already into non-apprehension.
Yes.
So how can you be born knowing the self? If you knew the self, you wouldn't be born.
Then you are asked to find self after being born. No.
Nobody asking you to find the self.
No, but that also is ingrained in us. That is why people are following positive or negative religion.
No. What? 99% of the world are not following negative or positive religion. They are doing their own thing. Who is bothered about religion? Go to this, what is his name? The astronomer CEO. Is he even interested in religion? Go to this Coldplay people and ask them, are they interested in religion? 99, 90, okay, then you want to be generous, let us say 95% of people are not interested at all.
By religion, I mean that they are seeking permanent happiness, the name can be different.
Okay, that you can say. Everybody is seeking permanent happiness. Correct. Now what are you saying?
So, that permanent happiness, we say that it is self. And why then it becomes so difficult? It is not naturally given to us.
It's the most natural thing. The reason it's become difficult is because you have created wrong habits. You created the habit. Now you have to uncreate that habit. When that habit is not there, that will be the natural thing you do.
But I find this very unfair.
I don't know what to say to that. You create the problem and then you tell God you are very unfair. Not fair. I'm finding you unfair, Elsie. God will be saying that you people create a problem.
99.9% of the people. But 99% of the people are not able to find it. So we are all bound to doom like that.
We are not bound to. If you were left to your natural being, you will just do the right things automatically. But you're not left to your natural being. So what is happening? You're not ever behaving like Elsie. You are behaving like Elsie who's influenced by what somebody thinks. Elsie who thinks that, this, that. There's so many sort of influences on Elsie. Just leave Elsie alone.
Correct.
And Elsie will naturally do the right thing for Elsie. So, you are looking at other people and saying, what will this person think? Who told you to look? Don't look, and then you'll be natural. You say it's becoming difficult because you already created the habit of comparing to others, of seeing what other people are saying. You already created all these habits of being indisciplined. You already created, let us say, I'm sure you haven't, but let us say you have created the habit of eating too much. Now you have to uncreate the habit of eating too much. So that's where the effort is. But now you have not created the habit of eating too much. So you eat normally, you eat normal stuff and you keep to a normal size. It's natural. So once you've created a negative, I can't even say negative, once you've created a habit of any sort, getting out is the difficulty. But who created that habit? So you can't say it's unfair. You created the habit, you have to get out of the habit. It's the most fair.
But from the time of Mahabharata, also this problem existed, So for generations after generation, we are repeating the same mistake.
Yeah. Because nobody is getting it that I'm creating stupid habits. Once you get it that I'm the one creating the habit, and therefore I'm the one creating the problem, you're through. What else is there? Then you do it right and right. You keep doing the right thing again and again and again. That'll become a habit.
So this has to seep into your mind. It is not a digested knowledge.
Campus LC, you stay there for 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and create new habits.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone has a question pertaining to chapter 15? Anything else? If nobody has a question on chapter 15, we can open up to general questions. If you have a general question, we can take it. Yes, Omkar.
See, a very famous Gujarati poet said, Narsimha Mehta, he very famously says this, that Harina Janato Mukti na mange, mange janam janam avtare, means the devotees of Krishna and his entire tribe, they specifically don't ask for self-realization. They ask for birth after birth after birth, with the sole purpose of worshipping the Lord. So my question is, would this idea be defined as negative religion? And second is, this person is known to have realized Krishna, although this was his approach, or realized God.
The first thing you do when you quote something, Omkar, is you see what's said before and after. Like, for instance, there is a very famous quote from Milton's Paradise Lost, that it's better to rule in hell than serve in heaven. Okay, so it's a very common thing. People used to say it. I don't know if anyone says anything of this. Anyone quotes any classical literature anymore, but that was the belief, that he'd rather be the king of hell than to be just a servant in heaven. Now, this is a statement. But if you don't know the background of the statement, who is the one making this statement? This is what Satan says. So when Satan makes a statement, it's not for us to emulate, right? It's better to be a servant in heaven than to be the ruler of hell. Isn't it? So when you're saying Narsi Mehta said this, you have to see it in the context of what is that whole story saying of his. If you just know 2 lines as a quote, you take Shakespeare's "and conscience makes cowards of us all." So what is Shakespeare trying to say? That if you have got some good ideas, you become a coward? You have to take it in the context of what is written. Now, this same Narsi Mehta who says that he says Darshan do Ghanesham Nath Mori. Isn't that also written by Narsi Mehta?
No, that is Surdas. That is Surdas. The blind saint, Surdas. Yes.
Okay. I won't trust my memory, but
Yeah, but they are all part of the same Vaishnava.
yeah. The text says Narsi kahe. The Narsi says. Okay, I will.
By the way, this question was asked in the movie, which Villainer? Oh, that very famous movie. Anyways,
Okay, chalo, I will take your word for it. But anyway, the point remains that you have to see it in context of A, what is the rest of that thing saying, and B, what is the rest of his philosophy saying. I mean, he cannot be saying different things in so you have to assume. Then you have to understand what is meant by this. The word darshan is often taken as visual darshan, but it's also often taken as self-realization. So now what we have to know the context to know what the person meant and pick things like that. So anyone who says, I want to experience joy, okay, I want to experience the self, not become the self, the common Dvaita concept that I'd rather eat sugar than become sugar. Right? So this is a common Vaishnav concept, not Vaishnav, sorry, Dvaita concept. But as long as you maintain duality, you can never experience it completely, right? Even to experience the sugar, it has to be as close to you as possible. So this is a concept that floats around in Dvaita, but to understand true love means to understand true oneness, where there aren't two. And in Krishna's life, you remember that story, right? That famous story of Radha Krishna. Krishna threw a party, and Radha and all the gopis ran to Radha and said, there's a party Krishna is throwing. Has he invited you? We've all been invited. To which Radha says, if you were throwing up, he says, no, I'm not been invited. So they were giggling and saying, see, he invited us, he didn't invite you. You think you're his favorite. So she says to them, if you were throwing a party, would you invite yourself? So true love, you see no difference. That is oneness, which happens even in the family, right? So it says Sheetal makes money. You are as happy as you made money, because to you it's one thing. Or you make money and she is happy as if she made it, because it's one thing. It's not two things. So true love is how much oneness can you?
Thank you.
Anyone else has any question? Dara, you have any question?
Namaste, ma'am. No, not as of now. I'm just a beginner, so just enjoying your discussions.
Yes, Deepraj.
So what's the problem with the Vishishtadvaita thing that there are multiple Atmans and they're separate, but like it's like part of the same universal consciousness? What's the problem with that?
That it's not
Or
true.
is there a problem with that?
It's not true. That is the problem with it. What do you mean? What is the problem with it? That's the problem. It can't be like that. Because how can there be division in the infinite? If you have claimed that your Lord is infinite, what division are you making in infinite? Can you make a division in infinite? Anyway, you haven't to ask the question ever, what is wrong in a philosophy? Your question should always be, what is right in the philosophy? What is right in the philosophy is that we all are different sparks, because each one of us has our own mind and intellect. So when you're referring to your personality in terms of your mind and intellect, we are all sparks of the divine. That's correct. So nobody's actually wrong. They're just looking at it from a certain perspective, and from that perspective, it's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for today. And since we often do as per AI, the song was written by Gopal Singh Nepali for the film Narsi Bhagat. Okay. Because yes, I know, and that's in this bhajan, the word Narsi does come.
No,
I don't know
this
whether.
was, in fact, this was a question in the movie Slumdog Millionaire, and he won that answer because
But I just
I think
checked the lyrics are, it's Surdas. It is Surdas. The lyrics are written by Surdas.
it is Surdas.
Okay.
And yes,
I just
because
checked,
the
yeah.
irony of this bhajan is he says Darshan when he was he was born blind.
Yeah, and then you remember anyway, the last para of that is that Man ke vasire, if you remember. So where's the question of seeing? Anyway, so let me tell you what is going on. Very exciting that in January we will be starting the first course at the campus. And as you can see, we have some pictures here where things are getting ready. What is this? I think this is the staff quarters, right? Yes, staff quarters. These are our staff quarters which are getting ready. This is, we have planted about 1,200 trees. That number will go up to about 2,000 eventually. So I think these guys are planting. Okay, I'm not sure why you all are showing us drainage pipes, but those are the drainage pipes. This is what? This is the Acharya Gruha being readied, I think. This is the office. Here is where the porta cabins are going to come, where the cottages are going to be built. As you can see, the foundation has started. We've drawn the lines. In a few days, this foundation will be done, and then we will, the cabins will simply, they're prefabricated, they will simply be brought and placed here. Then what happens?
Yeah, that's
it. That's all the pictures we have. Okay, what about show us the course, which is the exciting part? Vidushi has done a very nice brochure for the course, and I suppose it will soon, it must be up on our website, right? And so January to December will be the course. We will do Bhagavad Gita, the first 9 chapters, Ishavasya Upanishad, and Bhaja Govindam in it, and follow the daily schedule, and hopefully create all the right habits for the rest of life. You can show the brochure which is there, Omkar?
yes, I wasn't ready. It'll take me a few seconds to download.
Okay, no problem. And from September, and September 5th, by the way, the institution will be 4 years old. We didn't do too bad, right? In 4 years. They're going to be 4 years old, and we should have a celebration. So all of you who are out of town, please make some attempt to be in Mumbai at that time so that we can all go to the plot together, see what all has happened, and see what's going on. We'll have by then, hopefully, we will have our 10 cabins up, and 20 people can stay. Here is our PG diploma in applied Vedanta. So here's what our Vidushi has, the visuals, of course, she has designed. So this is our course. How cool is that? It was written, this thing was written largely by our Mahesh Ursekar and designed into a brochure by young Vidushi. This is the schedule. You have to be finished your graduation to be able to do this course. If anybody would like to join the course, get in touch with us. If you cannot join the course, but you would like to do a certificate course of 3 months, get in touch with us. Or if you would like to sponsor a student at the course, please get in touch with us. You can even sponsor students. So this is what is going on. Exciting times ahead. Huh? Okay, so I guess this is all. I don't have to say anything else. No? I think this is about what is happening. We're trying to do all the design the interiors. If you're in Mumbai and any good at interiors, please get in touch with me, because we've done the interior as in the interior design, but we still have to go and purchase all the stuff. If you have a shop or any way of getting the interiors at a cheaper rate or get it sponsored, that's an option. We need tiles and curtains and beds and bed sheets and pillow cases and plates and bottles, the whole setup. So anything that you feel you could get sponsored or you would like to give, or you know somebody who is likely to give it at a very good rate, anything you can do would be most gratefully received.